どうも、アジです。今回もデッドリープリモニション2やっていきます。前回はどこか謎めいた雰囲気のある少女パトリシアと出会い、ここからヨークと行動を共にしていくようです。今後どのような絡みが出てくるのか、そんな中でやってきたのはフードデリバリー車ということで、ここは被害者の遺体が安置されていた場所。しかし忽然とその姿は消してしまったようです。まずはこの冷凍倉庫から調べていこうかなというところです。ではお邪魔します。
You holding up okay, CLG?
はい、しっかりメルビンも入ってきましたね。
Sure you don't want to wait outside?
Ooh, I'll be fine, Daddy. Just make sure you don't take your eyes off of him. He's so selfish and inconsiderate. I'm still not convinced he's actually a real FBI agent. Look, he's talking to himself again.
Zach, this is the ambiguous zero, the deep freeze. Let's hurry up and find that flying serpent, shall we?
はい、空飛ぶヘビをここで探す。このドアは開かないのかな。で、ここでもセーブができますね。これはツールボックス。あ、なるほど。はいはいはい。アイテムの保管などっていうことか。じゃあまずはいいかな。お話はできない。さて、いろいろ見ていきましょう。こっちが倉庫本体というか、どうやってなんかあちらありますね。ビジョン。これは自動的に回復していくんで、使ってった方が、自動的に回復するっけ？しないかもしれないですね。ビジョンを使うことでゲームを進める上であらゆる手がかりを見つけることができます。左バンパー長押し、ビジョンを使う。ビジョンを使用すると集中力を消費するので状況に応じて使いましょう。あれ、自動回復なんて書いてないですね。あれ、そうか。じゃあこうかな。っていうか彼らとも話せる。メルビン、話長くなりそうなんだもん。
Hey, Mr. York, you sure you want to keep investigating this place even though we know the body ain't here?
当然だろう、メルビン。あれ言わんからなんか喋らないんかなって思っちゃったよ。
The skeletal gentleman gave me an oracle, remember? It's skeletal what?
Ooh, he's just joking, Daddy. You can't take him seriously.
Huh? Well, was that really a joke, Mr. York? Well, I'll be. I see you've been hiding some real charm into that whole FBI routine. Sorry, Melvin, but I'm dead serious.
はい、型をすくめられてしまいましたね。じゃあ中を見ていきましょう。よいしょ、お邪魔しますよ。
Good God Almighty. This place always gives me goosebumps, no matter how many times I come here. Yes, it's quite the funhouse. Truly a dazzling place. Meat entertainment. That's the only way to describe it. Woven together by life, frozen in time, a visceral, musical...
Symphony. We eat all this in order to survive.
Yes, truly a symphony. Life and death, resonating together.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Cool? Whoa now, CLG. Since when were you interested in this kind of stuff?
What are you so surprised for, Daddy? I'm more mature than you are. I've seen way more realistic corpses on CSI, you know.
Oh, man. At first, Zach, I was shocked by the notion of storing a victim's body alongside food. But as I gaze upon this hanging garden, I realize it's just another scene of violent, depraved murder. Yes. All we need to do is change our point of view, and things will expose themselves in utterly new ways.
はい、興味深いですね。でもメルビン心配したのはこのシンフォニーという言葉ではなく、この警戒しろと言っていたヨークと波長が合っていることではないんだろうかとも思うんですよね。で、メルビン。
Hey, Mr. York, this is kinda,
何？なんか言いにくいことがあるか？
Melvin, if you have something to say, then just go on and say it. Otherwise, you'll simply be insulting this beautiful landscape.
You think this is beautiful?
Oh, yes. It's the abnormal world that supports our normal lives. I think that's wonderful, don't you? Besides, look. Patricia seems to be handling this a lot better than you are.
Well, you see, I ain't too good with this grotesque stuff.
Don't let it get to you, Daddy. Whew, everyone has at least one thing they're afraid of. Even you, right, Agent York?
Something I'm afraid of?
Yeah, that's right. You gotta have at least one thing. Like clowns.
Clowns are so funny. How could anyone be scared of them?
Zombies.
Love them.
A bucket full of worms.
I could squeeze them with my bare hands.
The sound of screeching glass.
Doesn't bother me.
Then...
They cling to your skin like putrid leeches, robbing you of much more than your vitality. The wet socks.
Melvin, you're a genius.
濡れた靴下結局怖いのかな。で、途中私は水をこぼしてしまいました。すみません。で、ちょっとざっくり見てみましょうかね。よし、では行こう。見てみようって言って見たはいいけど何も覚えてないや。いけないいけない。なになんかあるみたい。はい、ウシガエルの足。ちょっといろんな不思議な素材が出てきますんでね。で、ここら辺は通れない。ここら辺の作業者の人たちは働いてるんでしょうかね。なんならコンビテナとか倒れたまんまなんだけどさ。買わないか。なんかただっ広いというぐらいでしょうか。ちょっとざっと見ていきますね。はい、お魚もあるし、あ、そうか、これスタミナ制だからちょっと急に走れなくなっちゃう時が不意に訪れますね。あった。はい、クローフィッシュの甲羅。先に行ってしまおう。
Melvin, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you a personal question. In the hotel parking lot when I first met you, the picture you had on your dashboard happened to catch my eye. Was that your wife?
Oh, her? Yeah, that's my lady, all right. Candy. Her name's Candy. The prettiest girl in town, which makes me the happiest boy. A shooting star landed in a rural town, right on top of a man who now has a meteor-struck heart.
You always keep her photo with you?
You bet I do. The truth is, Candy's a little sick right now. She can't even leave the house no more. So I always keep her photograph with me. Kinda feels like we're always together, you know?
I see. You care for your wife a great deal. But this means that
Yeah, that's right. My mama had me before she married Daddy. But it don't matter. He's still my real daddy to me.
Oh, thank you, CLG. And you're my pride and joy.
Well, Zach, isn't this a heartwarming scene? But there's one thing I just can't get out of my mind. Don't you think that photograph looked a bit too old? Perhaps Candy is already... No, let's not think about that. It might be a private matter, just like you, Zach.
はいはいはい、ヨークの言うように本当微笑ましい話というか、この冷たい冷蔵庫の中で暖かくなる話でしたね。で、メルビン。
We're almost to the morgue. The temporary one, at least.
You don't need to keep correcting yourself, Melvin.
I know, but I'm starting to feel guilty all of a sudden. You know, from an ethical perspective. It just ain't right to store a teenage girl's body in a place like this.
Still, rephrasing your sentences won't fix anything at this point. It's a shallow concern, really.
言い方。
Yeah, I know. But shoot, I just felt like the least I could do is try to phrase it better.
Whew. Don't bother trying to convince him, Daddy. I've only been working with him for a little while, but I already figured out what his deal is. He ain't right in the head. Whew. The FBI should add a new requirement to their hiring process. Must possess humanity.
何そのお辞儀は。でもパトリシアの言うことは結構的確ですよね。さて、さらに進む。ちょっと見てみますよ。はい、あちら集中していろいろありますね。で、ここは何だろう。はい、こちらももうそっちがメインになっちゃうのか。じゃあちょっと周り見てからかな。素材集めっていうのは裏でやっときなさいって話かもしんないけど、ブラックバスの尻尾、結構なんか生々しい感じがしますね。生々しいというのかどうかはあれだけど、でちょっとわざとらしく塞がれてるような感じもするけれども、はい、ウシガエルの足で、場所によってしゃがんで進む場所によって隠れた通路や通常の移動では侵入できない場所があります。そんな時は左スティックを押し、しゃがむことで通路を発見し移動することができます。怪しい場所を発見したら視点を変えてみましょう。なるほど。じゃあしゃがみ、何にもできないぞ。しゃがむが出るのか。ちょっと待って、これでも押せないからさ、意味ないんじゃない？ここ今来ても。本当かな？なんかおかしいっすね。視点を変えてみましょうの意味はなんだろう。ただぐるぐるしちゃうだけだな。まあいいや。まあなんか来ることがあるかもしれません。よし、またにしよう。またにしようというか今はやめとこう。じゃあメインの方に戻ろうかな。はい、アリゲーターガーの鱗。ガーってあれだっけ？ちょっとなんか口の長いようなお魚でしたかね。もう何もなかったや。結構なんかビジョン使っちゃうな。で、さらにここだ。はい、まただ。
Here we are, Zach. The morgue. They stored the victim's body in a cold storage warehouse operated by her family. I'd love to shake the hand of whoever came up with that one.
Hey, Agent York. Did you just come here to laugh at rural officers who are doing the best they can? We don't have any special facilities like you people. What else did you expect us to do, huh? Don't compare us with city folk. This is Lucare. Or maybe you're just disappointed that you didn't get to see the bloated, decomposing corpse of a young girl.
Sorry, you're right. I went a bit too far just now. But don't misunderstand. I honestly think it's a fantastic idea. I'd never try and bully your daddy.
Better not.
Thank you for understanding.
いいですね。このお父さんに対するちょっとなんだろう、罵りというわけではないけど、そこまではいかないけどにカチンときたその心がまたいい。で、じゃあしゃがむ。はいはい。じゃあ行きましょう。で、床には大きな足跡ですね。まだしゃがんでるけど。インスペクションスタート。で、何から見ていこうかだけど、まずはちょっと発泡スチロールの箱。
Boxes of the past or presents of the future. Either way, this is a curious time capsule.
ちょっとできれば余計なものから見ていきたいですね。進行に関わるものを見てしまうと他のものが見れないんで、ここら辺のちょっとヨークの語りも聞いていきたい。で、段ボール。
Forgotten boxes.
あれ
Looks like shelled headless shrimp. When were these boxes brought here? And when will they be taken away? Zach, can you feel it? The perpetual, unstoppable flow of time.
はい、素敵ですね。なんかでもここに冷凍食品的なものが置いてある。まあなんだろう、メルビンがこう急遽置いたっていうのは仕方ないことではあるんだけど、食品と一緒に死体があったっていうのはちょっと怖いですね。ゾッとする。で、段ボール。
Boxes that got left behind. I can't tell what's inside. What do you think, Zach?
カ
I'm
ー
gonna
ド
go
ボー
with
ドボックス。
okra.
オクラ。
Yeah, okra. I'm sure it must be okra. That's a staple of the South.
オクラはオクラなんですね。で、上もあるね。壁にかけられた温度計で、さらに天井から上はちょっと大事そうだから、散乱したパレット。
These pallets are a mess. Looks like this area isn't used often. Still, the idea to store a body here. It's a novel, sophisticated idea, unlike anything I'd ever come up with.
で、温度計。これこそゼロ。
Look at the thermometer, Zach. It's at 10 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 12.2 degrees Celsius. This must not be the ambiguous zero.
そうですね。で、リースの遺体安置場所。
This frost is shaped like something we're very used to seeing. That's right, a body bag. Lisa's body must have been left here. But there are no signs that the bag was dragged away. So our criminal must possess monstrous strength.
はい、怪力ですね。で、こちらペンダントライト。
Zach, can you see that? Look closely. That's right. There are 4 imprints in the frost on the top of this. It's hard to believe, but I think these are fingerprints. Yes, Zach, that would lead one to believe that the body napper is a giant who's over 10 feet tall.
はいはいはい。へこんじゃってるんですね。で、天井から下がっている氷柱、氷柱。
An icicle. Never thought I'd see one of these down in the south.
はい、以上でした。で、大きな足跡。
Zach, these are human footprints, and they're extremely large. Yes, Zach, I agree. These footprints must belong to someone who's used to walking around in cold temperatures.
ですよね。裸足ですもんね。 はい、インスペクションコンプリート。
Seems like our flying serpent isn't here. Is this everything, Melvin? There aren't any other rooms in this warehouse? No special rooms?
Well, there is the luxury foods warehouse.
Luxury foods? Why didn't you say so earlier?
Just thought you wanted to see where the body... I just thought you were only interested in warehouse number 2. Besides, it's underground, so it's even colder than this. You sure you really want to go down there? You could darn well freeze to death. All life will come to an end in the icebound zone.
やりたいだけじゃないか。
You feel me?
Let's head there at once. I'm sure that must be where we're meant to go.
But what about searching for Lisa's body?
All we need to do is find a 10-foot tall man with monstrous strength. That giant knows where she is.
10-foot tall?
But finding the flying serpent is more important right now. Now please, guide me to the luxury foods warehouse at once. These luxury foods are most likely being used in local Cajun cuisine. I'm so excited to see what we'll find. Aren't you, Zach?
はい、こちらは第2倉庫ということだったようですね。で、高級食材保管庫へ向かう。空飛ぶヘビはきっとそこにある。よし、行こう。ここで先ほどのしゃがみが、っていうか一応喋ろうかな。
A 10-foot tall giant?
だいぶ衝撃だったんでしょうね。
All right. Now that one's gotta be a joke. Right, Mr. York?
はい。で、それを尻目に。では、ここでさっきのしゃがみ方面に行けるようになんないかな。私はなんか通った覚えが前にそのパート6までやった時に通ったような気がしないでもないんですけどね。おかしいな。ちょっともう一回気になるんで行ってみますね。何にもないや。じゃあ今は忘れます。メルビン来ないのか？
That elevator needs a key, Mr. York.
鍵？
Do you have one?
Actually, no. I didn't think you'd ever want to go down there. So I didn't bother to go and get one.
Well, then would you go and get one now?
Yeah. COG, I know. I'll tell it to him straight. Thing is, Mr. York, you know the Clarksons? The folks who own this place? Well, they don't too much like the police. And they sure as hell don't like them when they're my color. It was, real hard for me to get permission to open up this place for you to search through. So they ain't gonna be too happy if I go back to them now, asking for another key.
What should we do then?
Let's just find a worker here who can lower the elevator for us instead. All they need to do is take a break from their work for a couple minutes.
And what am I supposed to do? Just stand here and pretend like nothing's happening?
Yeah, you FBI folks are good at that, right? That's always what I see you doing on TV.
言い返さないんだ。やっぱりね、映画とかを比喩に出したりすることが多いヨークですからね。はい、で、鍵で、メルビン、一応喋っとくね。
The elevator won't move without a key, Mr. York. Think you two can go and figure something out? I'll search around here in the meantime. I believe in you. I know they didn't make you a special agent for nothing.
あそこ手動かすとこでしょ。 い親子関係だ。さて職員さんとなってくるんだけど、あちらの方に
Zach, I think we can move this. Better check back here as well, just to be on the safe side.
ここでか。はい、調べるで移動。ちょっと倉庫版的なことができる感じでしょうかね。いっぱいまで押しておきましょうか。あちらもちょっと移動できる感じだな。もう一回発動です。ちょっと見て回るかな。でもみんな立ってるだけだからな。わりかしなんか人多いですね。そしてアメリカナマズのヒゲ。何もできない。ごめんね。どう言ってくれ。ごめん。走るボタンが私の考えてることと逆だったりするもんで。で、ウシガエルの下。どう押せる？ちょっとここで周り見れないのが厄介だな。で、これ以上はいけないみたいですね。今後もマップや建物の中でこういうのが出てくるんかもしれませんね。ちょっと待ってよ。これ行き止まりでしたね。もう押せない。そう。そんなに悩むところか。行けばいいんじゃないか。でまだどうかな。行き過ぎちゃうかな。ちょっとプルプルしましたね。はい、しゃがみからのでさらに奥。すみません、ちょっと激しくカメラを行かないだと。抵抗するか、このスペシャルエージェント様に対して。はい、お世話になりました。もう二度と来んじゃねえぞ。よし、出ていく道も確保。まだここにも。なんだこっちは。レアリティ高い。クローフィッシュの甲羅。そうでもない。じゃあお邪魔します。
Zach, the human ability to adapt is a frightening thing. Some humans have the power to sleep anywhere as long as they set their minds to it.
めちゃめちゃうとうとしてるけど、それは盗むという、お借りしますか。はい、エレベーターの鍵を手に入れた。高級食材保管庫に降りるためのエレベーターの鍵。
Now we should be able to operate the elevator. No need to worry. This facility no longer has a body to steal. What else do they have to lose? A few cans of crawfish? I feel bad for him, but it's for the sake of the investigation. I'll...
ごめんなさい。いやでも高級食材ですからね。おし、手にごめんなさい。はい、鍵を手に入れて高級食材保管庫へ向かう。達成。
Mr. York, did you find a key? Ha! Now that's my special agent. There ain't no stopping you. Wanna head straight down?
You bet. Let's sally forth, Melvin. Zach, look at that thermometer. 0 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 17.7 degrees Celsius. This is the ambiguous zero.
Hey, Avery! Can you hear me? Open the damn door, Avery! It ain't no use, Mr. York. Once Avery starts working on something, that's all he sees. He just tunes out everything else. We'll have to wait until he finishes and comes out to us, I reckon. Or we could come back tomorrow.
I disagree, Melvin. Time may be on our side, but that doesn't mean we should waste it. You gave me Mr. Alligator precisely for moments like these, didn't you?
Wait, Mr. York! Those tranquilizers may be non-lethal, but it's still dangerous to use them on humans.
Of course, Melvin. I never said I was going to shoot him.
You're gonna shoot some meat to get his attention. I'm right, ain't I?
はい、エイブリに気づかせる。新しいクエスト。結構細かく指定してくれますね。じゃあお肉だけどちょっとメルビン話し
I
とこう。
lent you Mr. Alligator for self-defense. But if you end up hurting a civilian, you can bet you'll be hearing from me.
怒りますよっていう部分になんか本気を感じますね。で、他はあった。はい、クローフィッシュの尻尾。よし、ではちょっと撃ち落とさせていただこう。すごい働き者だな。
This is Mr. York, an agent from the FBI.
Hi, Avery. I'm Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York.
York, you a smarty pants, huh?
He's shyer than he looks. Come on, just settle down, Avery. Tell him what this here place is for.
Lots of expensive food here. Yup. Mighty precious to the Clarksons, so I gotta guard it.
I see. So you're this area's keeper.
Oh, I help with the research too. I do like research.
Research? What are you talking about, Avery? This doesn't look like a lab to me.
Oh, ain't no lab. It's a warehouse. Ain't no lab. Smarty pant scientist does the research. I ain't no smarty pants, no.
He's a bit slow in the mind, but he ain't a bad guy. Oh. Your story about the giant who carried Lisa out. Don't tell me you think it's him. I mean, it's true that he's free to come and go as he pleases in this warehouse, but...
No, as far as I can tell, he's just a bit over 6'5". The one who moved Lisa's body must be at least 10 feet tall. He's clearly too short.
Too short, huh? Well, if you ever happen to find a man who makes him look small, I'd sure like to meet him.
Lise.
Hey, cut it out!
Lise. Why?
Avery, that's not Lise.
Not Lise?
This is Melvin's daughter, and my precious assistant. Unfortunately, Elise is no longer with us.
Lise! Lise! My phone! fault! My fault!
I guess he's sort of like Lise, you know? See, the poor fella's got himself a childlike mind. You know how normal kids tease other kids in order to get attention? Well, with this big lug, sometimes folks who don't know him too well see something and end up calling the police. But I know that deep down, he's got a good heart. Hey, Mr. York, I'll keep him busy, but I'd appreciate it if you'd hurry this particular inspection along. Just holler at me if you find anything. I reckon that'll make it easier for you to go do your thing, yeah?
Melvin, I think you're finally starting to catch on.
はい。で、ここで研究とかそういう気になるワードが出てきましたね。で、高級食材保管庫で空飛ぶヘビを見つける。はい。で、ちょっとメルビン喋っておこうか。
I'll keep an eye on him while we're here. Just relax, Avery. We'll get out of your way as soon as we're finished.
パトリシアに対してリーズと言ったこと、そして俺のせいでっていう言葉もね、すごく気になりますけれども、さあ向こうの方なんかずらりとあるなが、ちょっと待ってこれやめとこう。でこれは
Hung alligators. I suppose in a way they sort of look like flying serpents. Oh, but that's pushing it. Remember, we're in a dark basement here. They'll never reach the sky.
はい、貼り付けにはされてますけどね。でこちら
Frozen oysters. Personally, I'd rather have a cocktail filled with fresh ones. We hunt for more materials than we can eat and freeze them over long periods of time. The human race gives terror a whole new meaning.
確かにね、言い方というか表現的にはそう感じる部分もあるかもしれませんね。というかそう言われるとそう思えちゃいますね。こちら
Cans
は
of Holy Trinity paste.
Holy Trinity?
Onions, bell peppers, and celery. The absolute basics for any
なるほ
Cajun
どね。
dish. This product combines them all into some sort of paste. People actually buy this garbage? Even Zach, I just made an eternal promise with myself. If I ever happen to come across any food prepared with this paste, I vow to never call it Cajun food.
よく結構ね、本物志向なところがありますからね。で、なんかペラペラと落ちて
There are
ます
torn
ね。
off claws and legs scattered all over the ground.
爪や足
I doubt they'll fly anytime soon. I can't tell which ones are from crawfish and which parts are from shrimp. How about you, Zach?
だいぶちょっと大きそうですね。なんか爪の感じからしてもそうだし。で、結構遠くのびっくりマークが出たりもするんで、じゃあここ行きましょう。
Avery, this box looks special.
クラークソン。
Clarkson food. For their home.
Melvin, is this the Clarksons' family crest?
Oh, the dragonfly? Yeah, that's the Clarksons' mark, all right. Ain't no big deal, though. You can find those all over town.
Is that so?
Well, yeah. They pretty much run all of this town's major industries. Yeah, I do believe they own just about everything there is to own. So their word is law. They got the whole darn town tattooed with their dragonflies. Can't even walk a few steps without seeing one.
Zach, this dragonfly is our flying serpent. The flying serpent owns this town. They're related to Lise Clarkson, our victim. And Hungan's oracle pointed us toward their family crest. The Clarksons, must be deeply intertwined with this case. Melvin, Patricia, I think I've had enough of this frozen world. Let's head back out to that merciless sun. Well, what are you waiting for? I can't bear to spend another second down here.
マイペースというかね、なところがありますね。で、現状の調査はここで一旦終了というか、区切りがついたようです。おお、外出てきた。
So, what do we do now, Mr. York?
Zach and I will take things from here.
Then what should I do?
Tend to your sick wife? I don't know. You're free to do as you please. I'll stop by the sheriff's office when I need your help again.
I suppose that's what I'll do then. It'll sure make Candy happy. But I am the sheriff of this town, so I do intend to get some work done. I know. How about I search for Lisa's body while you're busy?
Not a bad idea. Just be careful that you don't get attacked by a barefooted giant.
Hey, don't scare me like that. Why do you keep talking about that giant anyway? You really think some giant was responsible for all this?
Melvin, don't be silly. Of course I do. Just when I thought you were starting to catch on. Disappointing, to say the least.
But how can you be so sure? I want to see some proof.
Proof number one. The footprints that led up to where Lisa's body originally was were made with bare feet. None of the prints looked similar to those of common insulated boots, and the arches of the feet were visible. The person who carried out Lisa's body must have had very large feet. I'd say they were at least 16 inches. Proof number two. I found fingerprints on the cord of one of the hanging lights in the warehouse. The fingerprints weren't aimed up from below. They were coming directly from the side. Clearly, the giant moved the light because it was in his way. He pinched the cord with his fingers. Proof number three. There was nothing else found in the vicinity where Lisa's body was stored. This means the giant carried her out without dragging her across the floor. But there's only one set of footprints. The only conclusion I can draw from this evidence is that a barefooted giant standing over 10 feet tall carried Lisa's body out. That concludes the entirety of my proof. Any objections, Melvin?
But there ain't no way a human could ever be that tall.
Have you seen every human alive with your own eyes? Well then, you need to forget all your preconceived notions when embarking on an investigation. Whether you come face to face with a 10-foot giant or a skeletal gentleman, you always need to accept everything that comes to you with a clear mind. Do that, and eventually the truth will reveal itself to you. You're a smart kid, I'm sure you understand.
Well, I'll be damned! I'm sorry I ever doubted you, Mr. FBI Special Agent, sir. A sharp eye and flawless observational skills, uncovering the truth with a heady intuition.
街の人にもやってるのかな。
I won't ever question you again. Heck, I'll do whatever you
超え
say.
ちゃった？
That's it, Melvin. I'm glad you finally caught on. Okay, time to go, Patty. You know this town well, so I'd like you to accompany me from now on.
Patty?
はい、ここでヨークも認めたということになりましたね。
Zach, we found the
パトリシア
flying serpent. Now we simply need to locate the 10 maidens. It's time to head on to Alexis's Diner and Lane.
はい、アレクサスへ向かうとなっております。向かうべきは999メートルなんだけど、どうしようかな。あちら、これなんかトリック的な、あ、今ちょっとやった？なんか前にやった時もここらへん、あ、
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Bunga, is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of either? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me. By the way, Zach, Hungan feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. Yes, I think I see the connection now. A cheerful, wise, yet also mysterious African-American who appeared in a variety of different films. My mind must be...
おっと、ハマっちまうとこだったぜ。さあ、人の姿が見えましたね。で、そうなんだけど、ちょっと外から、あ、なんか光ってる。お、やったー。定休皿。お皿が落ちてましたね。それ持ってていいんだろうか。なんか外から変なものが見えたような気がしないでもないんだけど、見間違いかな。なんかね、蓋になってるような感じのものが見えた気がするんだけであってないか。じゃあ先ほどの人のところに行きましょう。ここって乗っていいんかな。なんかちょっと不謹慎ですよね。おい、どうしました？空見上げて。ルイス。
Excuse me, but what are you doing?
鳥みたいな動きをしてる。
Searching.
What are you searching for?
Unknown.
You don't know. Interesting. Zach, this man is the perfect symbol of the human race. We all live out our lives searching for things. Yet, no one knows what they're actually searching for. That's what it means to be human. Don't you agree, Zach? I feel like that simple declaration of his just awakened us to something.
はいはい、ちょっと悟りを開いたような言葉ですね。ここで墓守のルイスという人物に会いました。で、ちょっと待って。なんかあっただろうか。なんなら結構ありましたね。まあいっか。じゃあどこ行こうかな。この目的地というか、ああいうのが上がってるようなところがもっと、あ、200メートル先とかありますね。このたまにポンポンってなるのは何なんだろう。ベンチマークがあるんで、ベンチマークってなんかパソコンのあれみたいね、性能を見るやつみたいになっちゃうんだけど、どこだこれ。ちょっと見失っちゃう。おい、はい。で、焚き火だ。はい、ドラム缶。焚き木のあるドラム缶に火をつけることでセーフエリアが作られます。火のついたドラム缶周辺はセーフエリアとなり、動物赤い影は近寄れません。野宿する場合、悪漢や火星を発症することがありますが、セーフエリア内で野宿した場合は発症しません。安全を確保し、休息を取りましょう。っていうか、赤い影、これがまだ何かわからないですしね。で、ここにカバン、私のカバンが置いてあります。ここは何もない。ちょっと見た上で。で、あそこ、あれはでも冷凍倉庫か。次の、レストランへ向かうよりも、ちょっと周りをいろいろ見たくなりますね。あの 建物
Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. All busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this town is different. The streets are all paved.
はい、お話をさせておきながらあんまし読んでないんですいませんね。でちょっと向こうのあの建物に行ってみようかな。でレストランに入るまでに今回はしようかなと思っています。
Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. All but
ごめん、乗ってる間しか喋れないんだね。でどこだ180、またしゃがみポイントもうびっくりで出るからちょっとびっくりしますね。街の人がちょいちょい言ってますけど、それはホテルだ。じゃあどうしようかな。200、ごめんなんか操作をめっちゃ間違える。のどかですね。天気もいいさ。そして着いてしまったレストラン。
So, what do you think?
すげえ派手。これ霊柩車じゃないの？またやっちゃった。はい、レストランアレクサス。
Patty, is something wrong?
I got something to say.
何改まって。
When I first met you in the hotel parking lot, you mentioned Saint Rouge, right? If you want to find it, maybe you should track down Professor R.
Professor R.
Yeah, Professor R owns the jazz bar on the other side of the bayou.
How do you know that?
Because.
Because, huh? Interesting.
はい、アレクサスをアンロックしました。で、オールズネストをアンロックしました。で、プロフェッサー R？ プロフェッサーだったっけ？ちょっとわからないけど。で、そこら中に出てるこれバスってなんだ？なんかバスさん抜け道とかそういうやつかな。今回はそこの電話でセーブをするとして、何がバツが出た？あれ何？ちょっと待って。あれ何？風船か。びっくりした。はい。ということで、次回はこのボーリングの、ピンの立つレストランへと足を踏み入れてみたいと思います。ということで、今回はここまで。ご視聴ありがとうございました。